Hello and welcome to this video on setting up and using the Drop N Go. Drop N Go is a very handy tool and can actually help prevent many mistakes, such as having the same item stuck in more than one sorter, because the Drop N Go will typically send the items to the correct sorter that already have the item in it, instead of sending it randomly to other sorters. I have a Drop N Go resed out right here, a VMD Drop N Go, and one of the first things you need to do is to give the Drop N Go access to the sorters so that it's able to communicate and send items to the sorter. You do that by going to the sorter menu, and in the sorter menu there's the access button. So you click that and then you see Drop N Go. Now there's also a DNG or Drop N Go RU for reduced uses. If this is a reduced uses sorter, and you can only have one of those in the VMD system anyway, then you would click that button, and this sorter would then be considered an RU sorter for both the recipe hub and the Drop N Go. And you can see this top center prim turned kind of yellowish in color. Now I want this to be a regular Drop N Go sorter, a regular sorter, not an RU sorter. So I'm going to go back to access. These are toggles, so if I click that again, it actually toggles it off. You see the center prim turns normal, and I'm just going to click the normal Drop N Go button. That means, as far as the recipe hubs are concerned and this Drop N Go is concerned, this is a normal sorter. Okay, and the top center prim should turn kind of a green color, just like you see here, and that means everything is set up. You'll need to do this to every sorter that you want your Drop N Goes to be able to send items to or to have access to. Now there's several ways to add items to the Drop N Go and have them send it to a sorter. One way is from your inventory. So I've got my inventory here. I've got some wheat baskets in there, and as you can see, I've already got wheat baskets in this sorter. So if I were to click these and then control and drag to the Drop N Go, you'll see hover text, 5 items in contents. If I click on that and click sort, the Drop N Go sees this sorter, sees that I already have a wheat basket crate, and sends the items directly to that crate, just like that, and they update it. Now this Drop N Go can be anywhere on the sim. A lot of people sprinkle them around their farms, so as they're harvesting many different items, they can just dump it in there and click it. And if you have multiple sorters, it will send the correct item to the correct sorter. Very handy tool. Another way that you can load items into your Drop N Go is by using the UUID method. So I can click the Drop N Go and select UUID. What happens, that puts the UUID of that Drop N Go right here in local chat. I'm going to copy that and get my inventory back off, or my chat back off the screen. And I have a couple of boxed up items here. These were boxed up from a sorter. I can just click on them, select other, paste in the UUID, do the same for that one, select other, paste in the UUID. So now I have all of those items from those crates into this Drop N Go. If I click it and click sort, it checks the sorters that I own. This Drop N Go is owned by me, so it's only looking in sorters that I own. And it finds those boxes, and voila, it moves them into the sorter. It's just that simple. Now, if you're an admin on someone else's sorters, then you can also use their Drop N Go. So I'm an admin on Sean's sorters, and I've got a Drop N Go right here that he is the owner of. And as you can see, I can click on that and I get access, even though it says right here, Sean Dakota's Drop N Go. I have access to it because I'm one of his admins. Drop N Goes and sorters are tied by owner. So a Drop N Go owned by me can only send items to sorters owned by me. A drop and go owned by Sean, such as this one, can only send items to sorters owned by Sean. Okay, so just keep that in mind. They're linked by owner. All the admin rights do is give you access to the menu. Now, what if there's not a crate that exists? So I know that in all of Sean's sorters, he does not have milk crates in there because we took them all and they're right here. So again, I'm going to get the UUID of Sean's sorter. And again, it puts that in local chat. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to move these cartons of milk into Sean's drop and go. If I click his drop and go and click sort, it's going to start looking for milk crates in his sorters. Notice I have some in my sorters, but he doesn't have any in his. So then he gets this message, manual sort, and the count is 23, which is how many milk crates I actually moved into his drop and go. That means that the drop and go could not find any sorters of Sean's that have drop and go access and that have milk crates in them. So to remedy that, I'll click on the drop and go again, I'll get the menu, and I'll go to manual. Okay, so in the manual menu, I have several options. I can click return, which will return those items back to me. Okay, say I made a mistake or I don't know what to do with them, I don't know where Sean wants them, I can just return them. I can send them right back to me. There is a resort button. What this does is it will send these milk crates that are in manual sort back into the main sort. So I'm going to click that again just so you can see that happen. Now notice it does not say manual anymore and it says 23 items and contents. Okay, I can click on that again. I can dump, which would allow me to return them to me or send them to another sorter, whatever. I'm just going to try to sort again because I'm a stubborn type. Let's see what happens this time. Well, it still can't find milk crates. So my stubbornness did not succeed. So now I'm going to go to manual sort, click on manual. We tried the resort, which again dumps them back into the main. I really don't want to return them. I need to get these into Sean's sorters. So I'll click this manual sort button. And what that's going to do is to tell the drop and go to look into all of Sean's sorters that it has access to and put a list up here. So Sean has 4 sorters numbered 0 through 3. He's got them named, so these are the names. Milk crates are typically an ingredient, so I'm going to send those to Sean's ingredients, which is number 1. So I just click number 1, and away they go. So what's happening is the drop and go sent those milk crates to Sean's ingredients sorter. That sorter is then going to automatically, assuming everything is set up properly, will automatically make a milk crate box and add that box to the sorter and then move those milk crates into his sorter. It's just that simple, just as easy as that. If there were several items in here that the drop and go didn't know what to do with, then I would have still stuff left in manual, and I would have to repeat that process and tell the drop and go where to send those. Once that's set up, then it's good. I don't have to do that again. It now knows that there's milk crates out there. If I put more milk crates in Sean's drop and go and click sort, it would send them right to that sorter. It knows from that point on, that's where the milk crates need to go. Okay. Another real handy button that I want to talk about before we end this video is the search button. Let's say that you know that you've got milk crates somewhere, but you're not sure which sorter that they're in. You can click search, put in milk, I'm just going to use part of the words. That's just like how I like to do it. And then there will be a beam that will go from the crate to me. And that way I can follow that beam and know exactly where I need to go. When I find it, or once I know where it's at, I can click finish, and that turns off the beam. This is also handy. Sometimes you're using the recipe hub and you know that you've got enough milk crates somewhere, but the recipe says you don't have enough. That's probably because you have the milk crates in more than one sorter. And one sorter has enough, the other sorter doesn't. So when you click search, then you would see two beams coming to you from each of those milk crates. So that search function is very handy to help you find what you're looking for, or to make sure you don't have the same item in more than one sorter. So that's the functions of the Drop and Go. There are some other buttons up here. The admin will allow you to set it to group or to private. Even in private, your admins will have access. There is a breakout button. If you're using a sorter for collectibles and you like things broken out by year, like a wine barrel 2023, wine barrel 2024, and so on, then you would also want to turn breakout on your Drop and Go. There's a hover text option that turns the hover text off and on. Be careful using that, because you might not get some important messages, like you might not know that you have items in the Drop and Go if that hover text is turned off. So just use that with caution. Some of the other buttons that you'll see are talked about in the Drop and Go manual. Again, the manuals are accessible through the VMD website, and they cover all the buttons, all the functions, and when to use each button. That concludes this video on the VMD Drop and Go.